Let's start things off, though. Red Sox winning last night. They're 14-21. This was on our showcase game last night. Xander Bogaerts, meantime, look, he's been a fantastic player, hits this bomb, and then the chants coming from the crowd.
A drive to deep left, on its way, and gone. Well, there's the breathing room they needed, and it's 6-3.
Interesting sight there, Bogey, with the money machine.
Yes. Make it rain.
Yeah, I heard it.
What's that mean to you?
I mean, if I struck out, it wouldn't help my cause, you know?
My first question was, because I wasn't aware of that, that's not real money, right? Just saying there's $100 bills, and they're saying, no, it's fake money. It's like, why did you say there was $100 bills if that was real money? I'll say this, if you're Chaim Bloom, right, I put that, the GM of the Red Sox, and you're a little behind it now, you have this guy as a contract player, you also have J.D. Martinez, you have other players, do you ruthless GM it?
I don't. I really don't. I think because we saw what they were capable of last year, and I think that's one of the biggest indicators for me. You see some guys starting off slow from that offensive side, especially Kike Hernandez. You think about Verdugo. You think about as well as JBJ. So guys starting off a little bit slow. I think there's still opportunity for them to catch on fire, and I love what I've already seen with Devers, Bogaerts, and JD. So I think that from an offensive standpoint, they're going to get there. The defense is already there. It's one of the top defenses in the league. Now the pitching is going to be the biggest question. I think from a starting pitching standpoint, they're struggling right now, but I think that they can continue to play good baseball. They're on a good little run right now. As long as they play well, they can be there.
I want to say the ruthless GM thing, meaning you flip your assets. You don't worry about he was your guy or anything else. The market usually doesn't play for that. The market kind of, the Boston plays big market baseball, and they don't like to retrench or reboot. So do you stay the course, or would it be smarter now to just reboot this team and try to have a championship club in, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years?
So I agree. Look, Bogaerts plays an impact position at shortstop. And the years that he's had, to me, for that loyal fan base, you saw it last night. They're rechanting his name. He wants to stay there. I think it would be a great move to keep him. You know, at the end of the day, when someone shows passion that they want to stay, and the organization obviously loves him, I keep him. It's a no-brainer.
I'll say this. Well, look, it's tough. I think it's a decision, but I think the decision, I'll say this, we do top 10 shortstops right now each year. Right? We do top 10 for all the positions, but we're in the golden age of shortstops. But even with all the great ones out there, look, Turner just really, came into his own. Correa is hurt all the time. Corey Seager's hurt all the time. I'm looking at Xander Bogaerts, his OPS plus the last 6 years, 135, 139, 128, 128. Now it's 155. He is consistently always excellent. So even if he's never quite number one, now it's Fernando Tatis, but he's always hurt, right? Bogaerts is not hurt.
Yeah.
Like, only his defensive metrics are not in his favor. Otherwise, this guy is an all-world superstar player. I'm in favor, believe it or not. I know I like to ruthless GM and talk a good game, but reward your franchise guys. And if you end up overpaying a little bit on the back end, well, you already got the front end.
Yeah.
So it's not bbad money after bad. It's just good money after good.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned the consistency. OPS plus right now at 155, 55% better than league average. He's an example of what it looks like to play consistent baseball every single year in and year out. He's not going to give you the big highs or the big lows, but this is a guy you can put out there at shortstop and you know what you're going to get every single year. Now, what makes it a little tougher decision now, Trevor Story, they signed at second base. Is this a situation where they end up wanting to move him now because they know they may not be able to sign Bogaerts?
You mean keep Story over there? I never liked the Story thing to begin with, except that I kept hearing, well, no, it'll work out. You add a great player. What are you griping about? And his arm is bad, so you put a shortstop at second base. I don't like adding redundancy. It didn't make sense to me. Did that make sense to you?
Well, look, Story is a wonderful player. I mean, when you can add him up the middle with this guy, with Bogaerts, I mean, it's a good, to me, going out and taking that chance. The reward is great. The other thing
they paid real money. I mean, again, and when you pay real money for a guy, it's not that, oh, you're overpaying these ball players. No, but when you pay him, then next year or the year after, you're going to say, I can't pay that guy. I already paid Trevor Story.
Absolutely. The one thing I did a little digging into is the weather. The weather across baseball. The Red Sox in the highest plate appearances for temperatures below 50 degrees, they're at 17% of their plate appearances. So to your point, let's give this a little time. Let's see how this plays out. And, oh, by the way, they still have 3 of their monsters having really good years.
Right.
So that, you know, I look at that as well. The White Sox fall into that category, too. Right. And we'll get to them.
That's a good point. The 3 of the monsters, JD, Bogaerts, and Devers, weighted runs created plus at 159. The rest of this team, 54. So what, like you look at
54.
54.
5-4.
Yes.
I didn't see it rarely goes down that low. That's why I don't want to trip you up. But yeah.
There has to be some come back to at least average with some of those guys from an offensive standpoint.